Hey folks, it's Matt at Giraffe Audio, and today we'll be looking at the Dave Smith OB6. Okay, so let's take a look at it then. So we've got our various presets and whatnot. We're going to take a little look at a few presets. So, of course, the OB1, the OB6 is 6-note polyphony, so 6 notes at a time. We've got our oscillators here, so we've got two oscillators, a VCO1 and a VCO2. So we can change the frequency on each. And what I quite like is on your LED readout, it tells you what note you're tuned to. So you can do some quite cool stuff like that. Great for kind of like re-spaceline kind of sounding stuff, the kind of detuned stuff. So we've got, let's just turn down, I'm just going to go to the mix here and just turn down any other VCOs I've got going on. So I'm just using VCO1 now. So there we go. So I can choose our frequency. Change it to C1 there, and then I've got my waveform selection. So it goes from a sawtooth all the way over to a square wave. What's nice is it's not one or the other. It's a blend between those two waveform states. And next to that I've got, which you can hear, pulse width. Over on the saw, I've chosen pulse width at all, of course. Then we've got a mix of saw and square wave there, or pulse wave rather. And then where you set the pulse width. Got our sync button as well, so we can sync our VCO. So I'm going to go with square wave to be square wave. Point to the saw wave and say go with square wave. I'm going to go to with the saw wave to begin with, and then we'll bring in VCO2. Nice. So I've tuned VCO1 down to C1, and then I've tuned a VCO2 down to C0. And we'll have VCO2 on the pulse wave. Those fat sounds. What I'm going to do now is so we've got our VCO1 turned up and we've got our mixer turned up. We've also got a sub octave, so if it needs a little bit more boost in the bottom end, turn that up as well. Nice. So moving on from there, so we've done the oscillators, we've done the mixer. Take a look at the filter. What I really like about the filter is it's got 3 states. Technically it's got 4. We've got our low pass, we've got our notch filter, and we've got our high pass filter as well. We've also got our band pass, which is on a button. But the thing is with the low pass, the notch, and the high pass, you can blend between the states. Again, I think that's great. So you can do stuff like, which is really cool. Of course, we've got our frequency cut off, and we've got our resonance as well. Really smooth sounding. Really smooth. So when the band passes in, the low pass notch and high pass won't function. Really nice. We've got keyboard tracking as well, so we can have tracking off. Sorry, that was off. Half and full. Switch it off for now. Okay, nice. So moving on, we've got two envelopes that we can use. We've got our filter envelope and we've got our, well, what's the term, the loudness envelope. That's our amp envelope, of course. So we've got our mount knobs. They're notched in the center. Well, actually the filter one's notched in the center. The loudness one is just a regular knob. So the filter one notched. So for those filter swells, very easy. Turn up the amount and then play around with your filter. So almost percussive stuff, or zappy kind of sounds. Negative way. Switch that back to its normal one and set the filter. So yeah, so if we want to make some pad sounds, stuff there. Let's make some kind of bassy kind of sounds. I'm going to go back to a more paddy sound, I think. Okay, great. So that's pretty much the envelopes. Moving on from that, which is really nice, is this section up here, which is effects section. We've got two effects. At the moment, we've not got them on. We can choose our type by choosing our effect we want to edit. So at the moment on A, and it is set to Cho, which probably means chorus. So let's flick through the various types. So we've got off, and then we've got BBD, DDL, so delays and stuff like that. Chorus, various phases. Ring modulator, which I really like. And a couple of filters, so there we go, and we can choose various ones on each one, so there we go. On the bottom one we've got some, there we go, yep, so the bottom one has some spatial stuff as well, as in reverbs and whatnot. So I'm going to switch off B for the moment, I'm going to go back to A. I'm going to switch on our effects. It's as simple as that. And then turn up the mix. And then we've got two parameters that we can change. So we've got our depth on the bottom there. And our rate. I'm going to change our type to ring. So only two, well there's only one real parameter you can change, and it's either on or off, and then you've got where that is modulating. Makes some really great sounds with the ring modulator. I've been really impressed with this one. So let's go to effect B and let's I'm going to turn down effect A actually, I think. So we got some nice kind of reverb effects going on there. Spring, plate, and hall, and a few reverbs. I found the OB6 really comes alive with a little bit of reverb on the patches. We've been putting it through our Eventide space, and I have to say it sounds absolutely amazing. But it's nice to have a few reverbs on board so you can switch off that ring modulation. Just so you can thicken the sound up a little bit really. Okay, so we'll take a look at the modulation. I'm going to move the camera around so you can see it a little bit better. Okay, so let's take a look at the modulation section. Let's switch off my effects for now. What I'm really liking about the modulation on here is the ease of use for the aftertouch, which yeah, a lot of synths I've been using lately kind of don't have a huge amount of facilities for aftertouch. The mono synths don't tend to do it that much, but let's take a look at what we can do with this one. So we've got our aftertouch amount, and then we can map it to a one of 6 places. So either, excuse me, we can map it to VCO. Well, I say one of 6 places, we can map it to all 6 places. So VCO1, VCO2, LFO amount, loudness, filter frequency, and interestingly, filter mode. So let's do the most obvious one, I think, which is filter frequency. So I'm just going to move the transposer so I can do it down here where you can see it. So really, again, it's a notched knob, so that center point won't do nothing. But if I turn it up, and if I turn it to the minus, you get a nice kind of smoothness to it. Really nice. Filter mode, so we can kind of sweep through the modes of the filter. So it's a very expressive instrument. Do the VCO stuff. Do both of them at the same time. Which is always very nice. LFO amount, which we'll come to that in a moment when we have a look at the LFO. Basically, it will control the amount of LFO and where it's where it's routed to. Loudness. Almost like a built-in expression pedal, really. Yep, so we've done the filter stuff. Okay, so we've got X mod. So control various things using the filter envelope or using VSO2. So controlling the filter frequency there using VCO2, which is quite nice. Or using the filter envelope to control stuff instead. So we kind of got a kind of a pitch envelope there if we're controlling VCO1. Change the shape of VCO1 as well. Change from normal filter to bandpass filter. Really cool stuff. Pulse width. And we've got a filter frequency and a filter mode as well. So really cool stuff. Moving on to the LFO, we've got, of course, the frequency of our LFO. We've got the shape of our LFO, and the shapes we have are sine wave, sawtooth, reverse saw, square wave, and a random. I probably been treated to the fact you can go between various waveforms, well, between two waveforms on the oscillators. It would have been nice to be able to do that on a knob there instead of jumping to each one, but it's still, it's still a huge amount of waveforms to use, and we can also sync LFO, of course. So I'm going to go for a sawtooth to begin with. And then I've got the initial amount, so, and then I want to map it to something, so I'm going to map it to the filter frequency. I'm going to LFO sync. When I press LFO sync, the amount on the LEZ can be set, so I'm going to set it to 16, so 16th notes. Like so. 8th note triplets. get some nice kind of LFO fadings with the amount. It's really cool. Now I'm changing the filter mode. Yeah. And the pulse width. Struggling with that word today. Okay. Back to a normal sound. Couple of things we've got down here. We've got a hold button, which is quite nice. It will hold just notes, so you got your kind of built-in sustain. We've got wheel range, which if we hold down, LED will then show how far the pitch will go. So, and let's see if we can turn that up a bit. There we go, up to 12. We'll do the classic 2. So 2 semitones, or up to 12. Right, so we've got rate and portamento. Weird that they put them that way around. I kind of would have put portamento here, right there, but there we go. Put portamento on. Turn the rate up. So we got key mode, which is low or high, so we can switch it into what or last note played, so what takes precedence when it's stealing notes and whatnot. We've got detune. If you want to detune the whole keyboard, we've got that. And unison. Yeah, stacking. Brilliant. Really nice stuff with the unison. And then we've got our banks and our presets. There's various ways you can go through the presets. Initially, I just thought you had to go choose your preset, choose your bank. So let's go to 1. So I'm on bank 1, and then choose my 10s. So if I want to go there, so oh, sorry, that 10s, and then I can flick through like so. What you can do as well, if I go back to bank and 10s like that, and get to that, start again. If I hold down bank or decrement and then press the 10s or increment, I can just flick through the presets like that, which is quite nice. Yes, you do need 2 hands, but so let's go back to 0. Which, you know, it's quite nice that you can get back to 0 quite quick. So let's go through a few presets and you know, give you an example of what the synth is actually capable of. Really like this kind of sharp bass sound that it can do. really nice stuff. Really, that's really kind of my kind of sound. It's almost a digital sound almost, but in a really nice fat analog way. One thing I didn't mention actually on the mixer, you've also got a noise. I found the noise is very musical. Nick said that's the term he used, and yeah, it kind of works very well within context of the synth. It sounds like pink noise to me. I'm not entirely sure what noise it is, but it sounds like pink to me. So yeah, let's continue going through some of the presets. Really nice stuff. What I'm finding with the OB6, going through the presets, it's got a lot of very usable sounds, stuff that I could see fitting into a lot of different styles of production. Let's move up a bank. It's a good time to actually speak a little bit about the Arpeggiator and also the clock. Arpeggiator is dead simple to use again. Of course, it's just on and off, and then we've got octaves up to 3. So 2, 3, and then the direction. So up, down, up and down, random. I'm only playing one at the moment, so random's a bit, well, it won't work. And also a sine, so the note, the order in which the notes were played. And then we've got our clock, of course. So we've got half, quarter, eighth notes, dotted eighth note S, which I can't remember. It might be swing. Eighth notes, triplet, 16th, 16th swing, swing, 16th notes, triplets, and 32nd notes, which is quite cool. We can tap tempo. I don't tend to get on with tempo tapping, but we can just set the BPM ourselves. Bit of a jam here. Really nice. I'm going to switch off the Arpeggiator. And we're going to have a quick look at the sequencer. Really simple. Record and play. Record. There we go, 16 notes in, hit play. All this stuff won't work with it because the chairs off there. Don't like that, hit record again. So there we go. That's kind of a bit of a whirlwind look at the OB6. Just a few things about what you've got on the back. You've got expression pedals for both the low pass filter and also the traditional volume. You've got sustain input. You've also got sequencer, start and stop, which is quite nice. And a MIDI through, a MIDI out, a MIDI in, and a USB. Of course, over here we've got the phones, and we've got left and right. I'm running in mono mode at the moment because I'm just going into one input on my sound card. Yeah, so that's it. Any questions? Just leave them in the comments below, and I'll try and answer them. So yeah, I'll see you next time. Cheers.